Hello, and we're getting close to Merry Christmas. This is the 24th of December, 11:27. Um, I am embraced with honor and pride to see the King of Spain discourse for Christmas with the shots of everything he has done with Leticia, the Queen, and his beautiful daughters, the Princess of Asturias. So beautiful. It's just the way he speaks that I wish it was translated, but he speaks and creates discourse on, and he has a memory with me. So before watching the discourse, I saw a little clip of his life, and there was a picture with the uniform of the school, and he's been very handsome when he was a child. Um, they call him the Principito again. uh, it's not a Spanish word, but it's for the book of the Principito because he just looks like the illustration of the book of the Little Prince when he was a child. So I still watch Byron Bishop talking about when one comes to when one is lifted up to not run away and finds heaven. And I am moved. I am moved because it has been a strong year, and he is so well educated and supported as a king. Can't wait to see Charles' discourse. So I think he is calling for, but there is no translation in English, so I can have fun and write it myself just for the joy of it. Listening to the Ode to Joy, El Himno de la Alegría. We used to sing that, and it was also in a chorus on church for Christmas when I was little. Um, we would sing that as well. So it's hard to say that you are grateful when you have seen this war, and whatever people are going to complain because of the bad things that are also true, I am going to keep optimistic. So to remember the talent that is growing and to be able to teach if possible with a positive and celebrative attitude. Yeah. So when I am not only the character, when I am going to write for a character in role play, virtual reality, fantasy, interaction on internet, for 19 years, I look for what's the story of others. Right now, it's not happening because we are on hold. waiting to be paid. If we're not paid, we will just remain until that whatever needs to be over. So not even you can have many characters. You have different situations. So I search for music for 9, 7 hours. When I really role play now, I am hacked by people who are not role players. So it just goes very fast, and I lost the inspiration because I am afraid there's a law where you should not cross over. There are boundaries between fantasy world and real life. So that is one of the laws where so it should never be applied because people think you are an artist for them and they're sharing your material. First of all, it's not open source. It's not that it is important what I do or special. It's simply a law where people have to role play in order to be part of that story. Otherwise, is so. I pray for those times to return where I can role play again and have fun, enjoy with the role players. Now, it's interesting to see how it can be applied in real life, but in real life, it's serious and boring, and it needs mediation to be a little more fluent. Um, I wish I could help. Uh, I don't even know what's going on. So it is like talking and being blind without seeing where you're going. And I know the way and the system of roleplay and how it works. So it is a property for role players. So I wish for those in power and government to be more in touch with their people, their influencers, their this is not a movie, but is embracing the arts, embracing the way we relate through the arts, uh, and the movies are the seventh art, and I call virtual reality art because it's interactive within the world of role play. So what I ask is for not for peace, but world domination, where you're happy with your domain as not as an user, but as a holder. And this is important for each country that they have their piece of cake from the percentage and the tech titans who are uniting so we can move on. Yes. Once we move on, we can share a globe in, that is the same with the same information in an office, in a hall, and see how we are getting all these targets. Live in some part of the world, high class, low class. Um, I'm not going to name all the categories because there are like so many, but you can see there are parts where they need help and other parts where they have a lot of depression because they have nothing to do. It's perfect. Everything is perfect. People who don't have enough can provide and help to regulate, because it's not just about the tech titans with the program. It's also about the affinity to to be loved and to love and talk with these people and having this financial gathering where we can learn to pay credit, to pay attention, to be grateful, to film, to cheer up, to learn, to see how things work, but at the same time feel the support. There is one world learning to mediate. They are creating the program, but of course, because Spain and South America speak Spanish, um, it is easier. Not everyone speaks Spanish, as not everyone speaks Russian, and not everyone has to learn English. And a few learn English, so not everyone has to learn Arabic, but you can be in an Arabic world and know English. And I think it's good for everyone to know English. Not necessarily right now. People need their little rights, and it's a lesson to learn how to mediate and be pragmatic, to unite and create peace and positivity, and um, turn page from the crimes of the past, because it's been done equally. And when wars were played with mutual problems, so people are going to suffer just having to deal with all the reasons, the crimes of war from both sides. It's like a divorce that where both have hurt each other. So it will be wonderful to help. And we have more influencers in United States of America. We have in United Kingdom a few. They're a little extreme. It's like Russell is too sensational. I don't find he's funny. He gives good information, but he's too much of a conspirational. So we are not perfect. We have to help each other. I don't think there is such a bad, evil person in power, and we all make mistakes. So let's try to convince each other. The even if we think it's impossible, the, we can dance again. It was very beautiful to listen to the king. It reminded me when I was in Spain and I heard his first speech when he came to the throne, I was crying in my studio where I would make blogs to homeless people. Um, I was in tears crying because it reminded me of the best of who I am. Uh, is no matter the circumstances that surround you, that reminds you of the best of you. So I was the other day in bed, mm, very high naturally, when you're so relaxed and thinking, what does it matter? All these decorations, children don't know where is all this happiness and gifts coming from after all this lockdown and lack of community. Um, where are we in what phase to understand how to touch ground to recover the dignity of being human that's been taken, because those who have money and properties can move and have fun, but there is a lot of people that are stuck after what happened. And the economy needs also to be pulled out, not just the peace in Ukraine, and people who might want to invest on and they will have the rights, because everyone has rights for anything. It's just putting into a balance. It makes no sense. Yeah, if one side wants peace, let's go for peace. The other side is not attacking anymore, so um, even if it could be true or could not be true, let's all try our best to convert a conversation that could be pleasurable to please each other. So I say that to myself. I don't know where I'm going to end up. um, I was just seeing the spirit of things, that there is a mark on the ear closing. There is a it's not that you're in an astral plane, but you are relaxing so much that it's just it's nothing. You are elevated, abstracted away from your body, just um, mm, in bliss. um, is There is no plane of judgment there really, so it's hard to put a limit, is to put a number, is to put a date, uh, or even a movement, because it's so ethereal. And I still have seen that with the Christmas and yeah, the New Year, there is a global agreement to that is invisible and is shared before any would say anything. It is transparent in a is I don't imagine sometimes with words or or imagination or anything, but a little more kinesthetic. So, and it's very light, this agreement, because it's been so heavy. So, as to say a word about it is, it will become heavy to say anything, because it feels so light to be part of peace. But it's was a feeling of peacefulness within. It is very easy when one is comfortable in a bed and is warm. I'm so proud of my King of Spain. I am so proud. I wish that President Maduro could get to meet him and he could become a chief, cacique, even though he was born in Colombia, but it doesn't matter. To share also a little more of being a head chief. I don't think he would like to call himself a king, but a cacique. This is the name of a Native American chief in Venezuela, um, the head of state. Uh, and enjoy also the synergy that he is already doing, and get to share with honors for sharing and history together, and coming also in peace. We have beautiful history and language and dances and foods, where the Native American and the Spanish guisados came together in Christmas and make ayacas. So beautiful. Um, just proud of seeing my president Maduro to have shared also the Virgin of Peace, a huge statue. Um, was very moved to see the president of United States of America, the journalist, when he walked out. And there was like nobody, people are catching human behavior on Megan, but they should talk about these moments that are so crucial, and people don't go to read this. There was this journalist, Mr. President, all the he was already walking up. Is there going to be peace for 2023? And he was already 5 meters, and he just moved his hand, like, you know, like part of the mystery. He walks as if he is just carrying his body, because he's so old that he seems to be these these characters that are immortal, and because they are in a physical body, it's like they're just carrying themselves lightly in another way. Of course, these men are very well spoken. So my mother would always say, they're always lie politicians. They always make you believe false promises. I will say, why? Why do you believe? Why? Why would they speak and why would they want to lie? I mean, in the mind of a child. I think it's quite complicated. It's very complicated, utterly complicated. I'm grateful to have made so much talent. So that is to start the first week of the year to talking about talent as a vibration, but as is part of an environment of an year that is ending as well in this sequence. To be pleased, and it was beautiful how they honor all the people that died. He started with the Ucrania, the King of Spain, the little documentary there. That was remembering the year of what they did. That was very smart to show all the work. That was. I wish to see all the kings of Europe or the chiefs around the world as well, but they have to share the same language that we can understand. Today I was trying to sing to the Ode of Joy, but the translation in Spanish is another. When we sing it was in French and in German. No, in English and in German, because Beethoven is German. Was the original song is in German. It was hard because I don't remember the song, but I remember a few sentences, and I agree that it's easier that everyone could just translate it in one universal language, so it's not so chaotic. Unless you want to study other languages or another language, of course. Oh well, people are free to do as they wish. Um, I still wish to listen to the leaders of the world in a celebrative way, and for whatever reasons and celebrations they have in their culture too. Um, Whatever is collective or and independent. Really love when Felipe, Philip VI, the King of Spain, His Majesty said, I guess the word is rectitude and integrity, but um, he speaks these words as if he has written his own speech, because it's like coming from within his brain, and then he shoots off the words as if he's a wizard. I was like, what do you say, rewinding. I was, wow, it's like a collision inside, it spit it off. And when he just says rectitude and integrity, he did mention democracy was in the last 40 years. Um, my mother gaslighted me. I'm in my mind. I was 80 years old in Madrid, so it was in the news, in the TV. And my mother would always say, "Oh, that's something that happened in the past," to not alarm me or my sister. She She's been like a queen of gaslight. And I think it's good for certain times to, how can you explain the children such things, right? I mean, if that happened when I was 8 years old, oh, can you explain such things to children? All the children must be waiting for their gifts, or maybe they're opening them in 2 minutes. Because in Spain and many of the countries in South America, they made children wait until 12 o'clock, or when they wake up in the 25, like religion. And before in Spain, we would, or many friends would open it on the 4th, 5th of January when the three kings come, not in Christmas Santa Claus gifts. I was the only one because I was South American, and we celebrated the American tradition of opening the gifts on the 25th. But only Spain would. I was explaining why we start school 2 days or one day after the Three Kings, but it's a big day in Spain. Or the Three Kings, we have parades with the Three Kings, with the three wise kings. It's like if one of them is Spanish. I don't know. Nobody knows really. But I mean that much significant it is, the Three Kings, when they bring the gifts to baby Jesus. And this is probably one of the worst Christmas I have. Uh, without my children in this decade, I buy things, I send them things, and I would always buy things and grab them and wish to save them for when I'm giving gift to them. And I have always things stolen in these last years, and I still do it. So I am grateful that my daughter sent me money. So I got this. It has like a world. Um, I don't want to share the whole picture. That's for Alice. It has two just notebooks, which is really cool because inside is like that. So it could be as a heave as well, with hexagonous and well. So one is for potions. I mean, I am collecting some bottles, so we do for Halloween, just for decorations. But when I was little, we used to make perfumes, which is, my mother would be horrified. Oh, my perfumes, my creams. We would mix them all. They were all expensive. That is divination, but this is funny because they had it in the supermarket Lidl today. It's from the Harry Potter. So the thing is that I was downloading globes, pictures of globes, as if it's a hologram, because to have lights that turn inside without being a hologram, just a globe of the world where it has light bulbs to see on every state, that they have water, that they have this industry, these jobs. Not everyone has to have the same things, but at least the basics. Or some, I guess some people will just be happy bathing in the lake, fishing there. So, to respect, what is it that they. And this one, there was the only one also in Lidl. So, is my son, this is 2023 edition, Minecraft. He loves to play this. And they both cost the same price. So, I don't know why. I guess it's just because I don't know why um, this costs double in internet. That will make sense. Because I was looking these books in Amazon. I was thinking, because I asked Debbie to ask them what they like, and he said Minecraft, but I don't know which games he has already. And my daughter said books. Was it not the video games? And I don't know which console he has. I got him an Xbox, was it? Yeah, well, that was 5 years ago. What was the latest? Mm, So it is interesting for me to read it, and I want to. It makes me very happy to see what he's doing. Welcome to Minecraft. It is an almost endless world of creativity, freedom, and fun, where your imagination is the most powerful tool of all. So, Minecraft Creative Mode. Fun fact: even before it was officially released in 2011, Minecraft had more than 16 million people playing it. That's cool. Multiplayer, well, you are free to go it alone. There is also a lot of fun to be had with friends in Minecraft, whether it is teaming up for huge builds or uniting forces to tackle the Ender Dragon. There are plenty of occasions where a little help can go a long way, with both split screen and online options available for, as well as providing a home for users to host their own servers. Minecraft also comes with its own realms server system, but it does need a monthly subscription. So be sure you need it before spending any money. So I don't know what he's playing, and he said any book. Well, aquatic update. I have no idea what this. I mean, I know they build things and it's a computer game. I do have a system for role play that nobody has. Um, I'm going to be a little more serious to try to sell it so I can move on. I was thinking of disconnecting from things that I am not part of. Um, I think it's in the hands of those who are in power and have the capabilities to do so. I have tried to put myself as part of a triangulation where I can be judged as an unknown entity. That's what my father would do as journalist. So they talk about the problem without being uh, involved with it because they could lose their. I think it's reasonable when people get together to help each other, to be grateful for everything that we have achieved. I think this war could end. Ukraine has a lot of land. And I was thinking they can still go to the beach. I mean, if they learn how to do a mediation, because Ukrainians and Russians need to share more freedom of expression, directing each other, getting more comfortable to be on those terms. And maybe Americans can help and other channels around the world little by little. Putin comes a director to his people and is helping to create all this a new way also of exchanging values and getting to be a little more respectful. Of course, I would put a virtual reality button on every platform that has united with the tech titans for virtual reality. That was my formula for the multiverses that I've sent to Bill Gates. I'm still waiting to say, hey, thank you. So it's here. Here's your percentage. So I can go and do my mansions into villages. And of course, give the mystery codes. So nobody can undercode it because it's like a few years light. A few years, yeah, like a few years, a few thousand years, a few million years late. Uh, it's it's easier once you are honor and you can honor back and give it. So I mean, everyone should be sent to virtual reality if they are being too, if they are insulting people. I mean, it's funny. I mean, Jordan Peterson insulting Greta Thunberg and calling these names to young girls. And then he did it again to another one. So, some people that can be so talented, gifted, and have good, a good, it's kind of like, hey, wait, because you want to go here, but you have not been pushed into virtual reality yet. So I think change from channel for 2023 and just be grateful until this 2022 ends. Just get to enjoy and be receptive to feel all the happenings, the voices and get out to just walk and enjoy London, beautiful London, the lights. Privileged to be here in the heart of writers. I am always surprised by this city that never stops writing. Even the names of the streets have a story to tell here that is very peculiar. So it leaves me in a dreamy zone. Sometimes it's a little bit like, well, my mother, she's okay. She's okay with my sister there. I was feeling a lot of love for my sister the other day. It was beyond myself, so I don't think I was having that love for her, but something like it was okay without it was without having to understand. It was beautiful getting to listen the translation of the El himno de la alegría, ode, the hymn to joy, ode to joy, where it says the daughter of the Lucians. The Lucian fields are Greek mythology. Is a mystery with the Lucian fields and with the eternal and the river Styx flows. There are many stories that are related to the Lucian fields. Um, I am not really talking to send any message particular. Um, I am in love with one person. Everything that he has done. Never thought the but you know you can like someone from the distance and think, well, if you have this, you have this, well, just give it a try and give this work because this is happening. And but I am very in love with all the senses that that manifest what the King of Spain said today. So it's parallel, is unparalleled, parallel is it's okay to feel so much love. Um, I think sometimes it's not my love; it's beyond me. It's beyond me because I'm in denial of love, as if I am capable of into. I'm incapable of entering into mindsets and all these circumstances and that I would never do. It's just immense gratitude, love. I don't know what is the name really. So I cannot role play and express myself to So kind of enjoy privacy because I've never wanted to be published or share. I wish the world to become expressive and be gentler. There is such a rich education. There are so many words, so many ways to role play with each other, to be generous. There's so much to. It's not to study the words of the dictionary to do so, but to practice this with one another, with strangers as well, and be less and less in internet. I mean, with the phone, maybe getting these things done, filming. After studying cinema for being a scriptwriter, I'm the I am the simple one. This is just a time of well-being, a Christmas that is being a preparation to feel from the distance for my children, for Debbie, that she can have her family in Venezuela and enjoy the joys. I'm so glad she came before going with her husband to London, and that she loved finally because she always was against London. No, no, I want Miami. No, I love America because I raised her in New York City. So she always felt bad for not being American. We were residents, so I was like, well, um, and then she just wanted Spain, and I was like, and then the Brexit. So it was always like I was being manipulative, mother. And I'm just so glad that she got to see London and love it, because her husband would say is his favorite city in Europe, but she's very stubborn. So just to see her joy and happiness, and just to listen from her while being in present, it was so nice to hear her say that she loves London more than New York. I never expected so much, because as much as I love any place I am, that I would never go. It's just for other reasons I go. And one never knows, so one should never be Mm, as things are going. I don't know, if you have property and you have a safe country, you could say that you're going to be in a place until you die. That is my feeling here, that I love. It's maybe not the neighborhood I want. Sometimes today that I went out, so just don't blame and start recycling again. The lockdown is over, and you can just, because that will always make me feel better. And I even have a broom to clean it with a big brush, not just the handler. Just to honor my handler. There it is. It's a picky to pick the. Um, it's very precise. It's very precise. So it's called Street Masters, Street Master Pro. So that was part of a project for tech teen or tech oneself to puzzle the streets of each borough and have walk with the ladies and have a space where the teenagers can reunite and then go from there to sports, go to other, get all other volunteers and get other to get from the council, so they get to help them get the money to their organizations to do things for after school, but especially to have podiums and different formats so they can learn and debate with each other, but debate and fight. So you're going to fight for the color red and you're going to fight for the color blue, and just without matter, and because why, or elements, because this element can break, this element can last longer, but this element can. So, and at the same time, they could get to study elements. When I talk about values, those are the values. I don't care if someone is married or has a good reputation. What I care is the values that can make water to the places where there are no water, and how can they get this material without destroying the earth, and get to get together and have the tools and the human interaction and the people to go and come, students to go to other countries and study there as well, study and work. So, because just sitting and studying is not good enough. To study and work while you're studying. So that is beneficial. And it's just also to learn how other culture gets to relate with one another, because other cultures don't know how to relate with one another. And this helps while you are teaching another person to be able to hold administration, accountability, and become a supervisor. And everyone can be a supervisor each week, as we used to do in the commune, because everyone has to learn to be a supervisor, a manager. Anyone can learn to just check on the board. That's what we used to do as teenagers in the school, in boarding school in England, and Cochrane School in Devon, Chowley. So, and doing the events for my mother with thousands of people, but um, it's not that difficult if you have a draft and you have the support, and you start to learn what is having inner authority by respecting those who have authority. So you get to learn from authority what is authority, to have your authority. Uh, Most of the international therapists would say the majority of people are evolved and they are living in a 3-year-old mind that is as a toddler. They just get mad if things are not, because they came out of school, they came out of the university, they got married, and they're still doing what this some these ones are still. So some some people are living in a 7-year-old mind, but like the majority. And it's not about high class or low class. So there is not a level of maturity is to say I honor your authority. I can discern that your power is to be honored, and you feel welcome to my land, the land that we share through history. I realized looking back at 2022 that it's burning to joke in this way and say insults and all this. Is draining. It's not who I am. It's just created a character and got into these sounds and get into these vibrations of music to generate that frustration, aggravation, the sound of death, bombs, jokes, so people can just oneself as well. Just it's still vulgar and uh, it's not who I am. So when I say my name and then I'm joking like this, so I will have to introduce myself, and this is an act. And sometimes it doesn't matter. If there is something that can inspire or from so much craziness to get an idea, and those could just take that idea because they can't go crazy. They have to take care, be in control. No, the fear of losing control and going crazy is every time has its own hallmark, which in the dictionary means a mark, stamp on articles of gold, silver, or platinum by the British assay offices, certifying their standard of purity. That's what hallmark means. A distinctive feature. The tiny bubbles are hallmark of the champagne. A distinctive feature, I guess. A hallmark. Verb. Stamp with a hallmark. Mark as distinctive. Origin early 18th century from Goldsmith Hall in London, where articles were tested and stamped with such a mark. That's funny because I wanted to get ink for the stamps that I brought to my son because I don't think he's into painting and writing in this journal of 5 years. So I'm happy that he talked about it. That's it. Doesn't matter. So because Alice Lois cover is more expensive, I brought him stamps. His cover is just red leather, and Alice Lois cover is more elaborated with a golden bee with flowers, and it can fold, and it has pockets. So I got him two stamps from the Honobishi in Japan. Can't wait to see them and see how they are. I could just imagine that he was looking at it and thinking, "This must be important." It's like 5 years. It's like that's a lot for a child. but and Alice already knows how to do it, so I'm very glad. So I thought, well, the stamp, and then I thought, because I am having some money from Spain on the 17th of January, so I'm gonna get them a lot of stamps and ink, where he can just stamp there, stamp, stamp, and say today was like this, boom, boom, and it doesn't matter if it was or not. So, and Alice as well. The thing is that I also want to buy for Alice the ink markers that are a little more like a brush, and for Zane as well. So I'm glad they give this extra money in Spain from every 6 months for mothers who are single, because they have my last name and the birth certificate. The father didn't have his passport, birth certificate in Spain, and I wanted them to have my last name because of the meaning of Placentia, and the father could give them their name, Alice and Saint Alice Lois and Saint David and Placentia. Well, so it was curious to read the word hallmark, and that sounds very British. There in my mind is like, where's I know what it means, and it was this astrologer talking about it today from the astrology of Jesus, and he was saying there's been a hallmark that has mark through the times his birth, through history, and so I wanted to make a little bit more of a journal of just thinking loud while recording without having to give insults, and something I can share with my children in the future. Um, Maybe when they're mature, I can they can see the other videos that are meant to be in private. I sometimes laugh about it and imagine some people laughing about it. That's why there is no real reason behind is to stress away so much reason and making space, room for maybe another idea. Um, that is the structure for those who have the measures to do it in the position. So, well, I will keep talking about the weeks of the war, the war, all this. With this next 5 years, this is from 2022 to 2026. Dream with Megan again. We were in a car in the back. I just it was fine. It's just like a soul meeting because there's always a lot of like love. She said they don't like me. Um, she was with her white hat, this hat that's like that. I was, well, I like your cheeks. I like your cheeks. I mean, you shouldn't care about what, like, that was it. It was like what I said was like, what matters most is like after everything that I did, so everyone likes her. It's like I've not done, because it's a state of no judgment. This dream is makes no sense at all. It's like, don't worry about people liking you or not. What matters is that I like your cheeks. That's it. So it's just, it was driving, and it was just not that I knew where we were going or that we were away, but it was like one of these pictures that I see on internet, and her face like that, and that voice of hers that is sweet. They don't like me because she makes so much effort to be liked. And that is the sweet thing about her, that I think people like her, love to hate her because they like her as well, but they like to talk about her in their own way. But she has reason for people to talk about race, royalty, so that is good enough. So it's a good role model they'll to allow people to break through conversations that have to do with royalty and cultures. So, and embrace the best of us in the most funny way. Because it's just, they look good to the camera, Harry and Meghan. So it's not that they are ugly or grotesque. I could not watch the Netflix because is is a parody. I should, but my internet is what's something wrong with my Netflix, even though I had unsubscribed. Um, I'm not very much into movies. I love the documentaries. Um, well, I made a few words. So these are words that are of something that is already like a green light that is already working, is part of a phase of a scene that you're part of. That is a reality as such, and this is not a reality in red, so like a red flag, whatever. I mean, no, not a red flag. So the negative words, conniving, that is not true, fraudulent, fraud, dissonance, dissipated, sick, dissolute, debauched, corrupt, cultural decline, unprincipled, unprincipled, evil, wicked, wrong, wrongful, coarse, sex, underhand, unvirtuous, insult, the generic insult, disadvantage, like that's it's not a reality, it is a disadvantage because it's like a sub-reality, something, I don't know how to call it, but it's something that maybe has a reality, but past particle, get off. I mean, past particle is not part of a present reality because it's past, right? Get off, uninformed, out of. Scapegrace, which is a scapegoat. Reprobate. Reprobate again. Damnation. Disapprove, impure, villainous, immoral, illicit. Dream is not a reality. Desire, it could be a reality or not. Well, let's just put it. Desire could be the drive towards a reality, is not. But one has to discern that first. So there is the green for the positive, but these are things that people think this is a reality. This is H.G. Tudor would say is painted in white, that is painted in red. There is a reality, invite, available, take, promote, open, click, matching, readily. Oh, arrange. There's some in pink because it's getting closer to that reality. Perform, maintain. Maintain is what that reality that you already have and are, or are part of, or at least passing through, is real as a sewage. Converging. Oh, that should be moving, right? Converging values, converging crisis, setting. Well, it's very important once you have your reality, understand how you balance your settings. Balancing your settings, it has to do with music, edition, everything, and I will explain it when I get paid. Comply, influence. So this is for the algorithm to teach mediators how that it has to be on 3G. No, well, even if it's seen in a computer screen, it would be better to see it on a 3D. People can understand how we are relating, because we also need to bring a zigzag role play where you have is a dance, yeah. So I just say there are 3 steps to make a total reality, and you can go swing back and forth, 1 1 2, 2 2 1 2 2 2 1 3 3, separated 3 no's, 2 2 strongs are like maybe probably is gonna be a no no no. You already know by the first no that is more of a no than a maybe. So closer to a reality in pink. Oh no, the closer is the blue. Blue is closer to a reality. Just green. Black is to. There is a part where you know if it's real or not, so that you have clues. Is you're jigging around it. Is the sort of impression. Speculate, suppose, impression, sightseer, tourist. Why degenerate? I don't understand. Warish. Oh, amoral. I put it apart from immoral because I think it's standing between what's moral and immoral. Amoral. A vagabond. Vagabond is there, but it's not there. Unreal. Unrealistic. False. Delusive. Because you can have a diamond, but it's false. It's a false reality. It's still a reality. until it's proven. It needs to be proven, but you have that to needs to be tested, right? Needs to be identified. So there's that process where, well, I don't have time now for that. I'm not really interested. Partly delusive, and there are more words, of course. These are it's syntonic to understand how we are role playing to make mediation where people are interested, but at the same time they have to learn and accept the deal. And they say, "Well, you haven't done the work well." And this to break a little bit through uh, working and teaching while we work, teaching each other. That's something beautiful that you do in the kitchen. You're always learning and improving, and you're always teaching, and that is very hierarchical and beautiful in the kitchen. The pink, I don't know. So the pink is I don't remember right now on what step is there. Strong, objective, detect, capture, note, observe. It's not there yet, yeah, but you're from a parallel. Observe, watch, register, perceive, acknowledge, reputable, forward, easy with setback, but is important. We win. Everyone wants victory, I guess, but it's easy with a setback. Concern, as we knew. Lucky. I don't know what that step forward. So when you have this in your mind and you are reflecting, is to make a deal that is going to stamp and say, okay, we're going to do this aqueduct, on tubes. It's going to cost a lot of work with stones, and the Romans used to do that. It's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful if you want to do that, but there are a lot of kilometers from this lake in in Malawi. What is this? Well, I have to pick 12 countries to talk about, to study 12 countries. So just to study one for each month and read about the country. And it's just for my own studies, so I can fabricate the voice, the words of this country, and get to, especially those that are around the immigrations from the north of Africa and Mexico. But it's not just Mexico, it's also South America, it's all Africa. It's all the people who can save money to do their mansion into a village through 15 years of work, just working in a McDonald's or a supermarket. If he's married, both can generate that. Of course, one has to understand that this money is being put there, but is also being paid back by the people who are generating their food, water, because it's just a property they have, but at the same time they are giving credit for the people to create their own home and create this channel of waters. So it's very vague. So I'm just training myself and studying for this dream that was made on 2020 for my daughter that she wanted to do Home by Davy. So I created this idea for her. She wanted to do in YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, websites, and that it was the stage one. It was called The Path Towards Redemption. And I started last year on May, unconsciously. When I said, okay, I'm going to start, I just went to the page and so it's right on May. So May is an important day, a month for me because it's the day of Star Wars, 4th of May. May the Force be with you. I love Star Wars, the dark side, the Jedi's, the whole thing, and more. The is is to be shared with your imagination. So well, I don't know why I feel like someone is listening. So I'm living in my own fantasy world. So that was from the agenda of my agenda of Honobishi. So I started already for 2022. I should skip here and check oneself. I have another one, is the best of worlds. So I should just log into the best of worlds and just read about the world there. Who knows, I could give that job to somebody else later. I don't think I want to travel at all. Just like, I would love to see people doing it, that's for sure. I want to go to all these places. For sure, I would love to see a village transforming and get to talk about. I would love to talk about what that town has on mind with an architect or like these Native Americans, doing them an interview. We like solar panels here or this internet from what is Elon Musk? I don't know. It's just amazing the thing I learn from others and get to see. I mean, I think it's a need to be with nature. That's for sure for me. So and here it's just more to write more of this paper, but this was to put on a board and on a board. It should be of cork. Could just put it there. But I don't want to live here really. I should start working as well and generate just generate to eat better and to get my kids, because my work seems to not have a response. Ooh. Well, Merry Christmas to all those who are this earth celebrating with hope and celebrating the birthday of Jesus and the birthday of all their babies, of all their children, of the hope, of the reminder of we are the children of God, and as the Father Byron was saying, seeing the babies, the children. This is so insightful. As they have the eyes of Jesus. How the church will look into the poor. Um, Thanks so much, the priest and the nuns that I had. I only wish to honor them as well, and the churches that are there. They exist. I also love meditation and the meditations of Osho, but that's a part. That's why I want my 7% is want to thank more than complain. That's for sure. That's what I have learned from so much pity play. So well, gratefulness, gifts. My daughter said, only buy food. I'm like, no. I am so lucky that I have Lidl next to me. So it was good to buy this. Oh, so that represented for me Debbie. Debbie, I got this one. For it's very representative. That for Debbie. But they are all for crafts. It's like the god Pallas, which is the god of craft. This it was only like what 6-7 pounds, and it's more for crafts. It's not for heavy tools. But Debbie wanted to buy this, she said yesterday, and it was the last one as well. So I was like, what's the rush? So many people in the line, go again and just see how much it is. So I put the tools, and I remember that I didn't have a place to put this. But in the story of Palace, where he said something about juxtapoint the character, which it was me writing the character. He's not something about tools instead of weapons, tools of creation. So well, it's like the ones where you put a hammer, and they took it off because they were making a hole next to the kitchen, and right now everything is like so I really have to get moving. So that is for Debbie, and as to say, look, Debbie, I have done all these things with these tools. When she comes, it's better I buy them things from Amazon Canada, but at least I know I can buy this there for him and get to read it. Get to read it to understand his fighting talk combat guide. Be enchanting. How to make your best gear awesome. Puzzlecast, the crafty keys. I always imagine him that he has like a hollow heart and he needs love, and he's sometimes like, but he's just playing there lonely. and he knows that he's going to be great somehow because he's doing all these great things in the video game. But there is a bond of love to discover this in all this abyss. And for her, Alice is always she's always busy and very creative. I feel that Alice Lois is more creative than Debbie in like me as a child. I would just like I would always had things to do. The imagination would just flow naturally. I didn't have to look too far, just like that. And she has that swing, and Saint took catches from her very quickly because he's very intuitive, and she is like she came to like be her partner and shield him and to make things easier. Is I think Alice is a soul that is so strong in her own beauty, so convincing with her own beauty, a beauty that is it comes from her family in Canada as well. It's very jolly, uh, very ladylike. Very she has British and Welsh from her British Columbian family. So she has that giggly, bubbly um, sweetheart. As beautiful as her father. Um, Zane has totally that male sexiness of his father, even being a baby that could see. I was like, God, he's just 6 months. Like a big lion there, like smiling to the girls. Like he's a Casanova, just like his father. I was very proud. Like, yeah, well, uh, he's a baby, but he's totally flirting with you. And the girl's like, oh, this is not. It was in the DNA. Um, I just imagine when he would be just like a little bigger, and the girls in Canada would ask him, "Oh, why are you so handsome?" He would say, "My mother's from Venezuela," because as if he's a different species. Like I'm half Venezuelan or something like that, just to make himself special, as his father would. And and well, I can feel the love of his father on this Christmas as well. How much love we have for them is no other would have for our children that a mother and a father could have. And even if a mother and a father is dead, the love does exist. That is good enough to at least accept. Uh, the Virgin Mary and Joseph, they remind me of myself. Just, I've been like a fugitive with baby, with a baby, and then with a baby and toddler. all this money in a rent, and the landlord takes all the money, and they want you out because it's summertime in Ibiza and they want to rent to the tourist, and there is no law to cover you with babies. Is life can be so tough. It's funny to live in these situations because when you have money, you really don't know. You can know it as a movie that just happens and disappears. When I look at my president in Spain, and he's so well prepared, so handsome, he walks with the king, the president and the king of Spain, and they're like a good team. They seem to have a good relation. They always have a good relation, no matter what party. But they're trying to make a job happen. And the thing is, the socialists can have a better relation with South America because they have Venezuela has invested a lot of money in these last 2 decades to unite South America against any outsider power from the continent of South America, and promoting a lot of auto love. That there's been a lot of speech of loving ourselves as instead of uh, appreciating other continents so much, because they need to recover the self-esteem. So there's been a lot of president of Argentina being caught with government with bills of money, airplane, things that there are South American stories that are crazy. Of course, that was like also 20 years ago. Many stories and wars, because the gringos have been always trying to buy any political party that would be against socialists. So they want to be like behind political parties of South America. Like, excuse me, you don't even make love with us or dance with us, eat the same food in our home table. Get out. Like Chavez said, you have 48 hours to get out from here to the Embassy of America. We have to celebrate that those days are gone, because it's a disaster as a politician to do such a things from both extremes. So, so all these things are as the president of the United States of America said. He was calling for unity. It was beautiful. I mean, we all make our own stories depending on our own fantasies, because we all have our own interpretations for what 22 was, and the good things and the bad, and what is possible is to learn in one piece of land as to all the lands, accepting our differences. And it would be interesting, they could create a new politic between this land that is between Russia and Ukraine, or how it's gonna. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to. It's very difficult. So well, but it's possible. So it must be so cold there. The people that don't have electricity. Um, they're minus 20. I really wish I could do a miraculous potion. So a miraculous potion. So I should take care of my role play and don't care about, well, if people are hacking me, at least to have fun and refresh myself with my writings. It's like watching TV with others and playing with our characters, just to have some relief. Taking care of people's characters is also fun. Uh, it could be nice to give it to Alice as well. It would be nice to just write here the countries that I'm studying from the world, and because I just didn't know, because every year I get a notebook, so or little or big, or so these 12 countries here. I don't really want to study Mexico. South Americans are not very much into Mexico, but it's interesting to see in the border who wants to be there in a mansion, into a bit, make a mansion there, whatever. Um, but there is a lack of industry there as well, and who knows? Americans could do that, and I could study it. For sure, Algeria, because there is a lot of immigration coming from Algeria, and they all tell me, all the drivers in McDonald's, the Hoovers that deliver the food, say, "Yeah, we come from there." Then they are in Spain, and then they get before, and I don't know. There is Tunisia as well. This is next to Algeria. And next to it, Morocco. Morocco also has, I mean, the land in Morocco is more expensive than in Algeria, and is the Mediterranean. It's like, I could say to the Coranians, I was thinking, the Ukrainian want the beach that the Russians have taken. Well, you take some land in Algeria. You have the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, you can share. Share. I don't know. It's just you can have your mansion into the village there. Big deal. Um, it's still a little terrorist country, so it's Arab country, so it's kind of like, I would bring all the DJs from Ibiza right there, go on a boat there, mm, with wind, no, just moving the sails, sailing, just sailing. Oh, that's so cute. I mean, there are so many countries, but it's crazy. Look at that. When we were in India, with in the beach. So cute. We were so happy with the waves. This just we were so happy. Just looking at these kids. Angola. So that I have studied these parts of Africa that have lake. Just thinking, just to study, because thinking this water, so much water can go to just to study as a way of reading and studying, because it's impossible to study all the countries that you love. But to bring reason, on the school in Madrid, the school of Santa Maria de los Rosales, he would say that we have to help to bring water. But I don't have anything, but at least to imagine IT. I think the is Well, well, there is Kazakhstan and there is Kazakhstan. Where's Kazakhstan? Well, this still have some days. Of course, I had to put Venezuela and Peru. Well, look at this. It's just amazing. New Caledonia. I think until we have green energy to travel, the trains that are in green energy smooth. 'Cause you can start elaborating and working in the train, even if it's going to take a few days or weeks to prepare your mind to. Is the airplane is so fast. I mean, I guess for certain countries, until they have this form of traveling, but there must be people there already that one could get to start to mediate, learn. One has to learn. I have to work and invest in this computer, and if possible, stop being afraid of the cruelties of this world. People can be. Um, so I wrote this 2 years ago, so maybe I should read this in in April. Oh, I thought I have to read it to know what I'm doing. Could just elaborate it better. In random, so there is first stage, second stage, and third stage for mansions into villages. In a random way, you can pick, change, mark what you like, change everything, and keep a part of the format. Do one every month, every 2 weeks, but forms your own shape of consistency to schedule the airplane and prepare for the settings, etc. Because I am a creative artist, and I love to write, I will continue with the second stage and the third stage, so we remember how important is the first stage. People will learn how you are starting to do it, because the first day of the week is like a random talk or with a friend or bringing up words you had studied. You are maybe talking to many audiences, but you are matching the vision of it all in your plans. Being frankly honest is you are very human, simple. The importance of showing what to the filmmaker is because the audience needs to reflect in the importance of working together. However, you like to honor your work, some production, some pre-production cuts Also keep posting for Facebook and hopefully we get enough budget to start a good publicity so people link. I'm not interested in getting any followers to improve how I talk. um, so others can do it. For now, it's very important for Debbie to appreciate in everything as a venture for all those who might come in the way to be part guests, sharing an experience, friends. Let's say is the vibration of the female, the goddess, and the Victorian wives in their houses who keep their home in a heavenly state, as the muses and graces keep Olympus in a high energy, celebrating the victories, celebrating constantly, within out, silently or active. The observer will learn for one day to invest in their home. How do they do home in a development country to help a village? But it would be nice to talk about it in the first day of film inside all the possibilities. I can make a script and it's very easy for me to write it. I'm here to give you a bridge to be original and divine, as natural as possible, and at the same time share the collaboration and need to share whom you are as a channeler, person, inside out, at home, and work with the world. So, stage one gathers all the foundation of what you will keep doing in other cities around the world. The first years you will look for the lands and villages, perhaps with already friends who like to take this adventure with you and make it simple, well organized, and pragmatically possible. For that, in the second stage, you simply feel the universe around you and whomever changes. Take a breath and feel the joy of the first stage. To have reached the consistency of gathering so much experience and getting ready to continue now adding traveling around the world, because this is supposed to be a stage where might take 3 years. You're working in a McDonald's or in a supermarket and you're saving this money to invest on a piece of land and to travel there. Whatever you can just film with your iPhone or also invest in a camera. So, two people working, husband and wife, because they will share their patrimony. The king of Spain said, es nuestro mayor patrimonio. It's our major patrimony, it's our greatest patrimony. Because he mentioned all these values, a democratic. Democracy sounds like having a conversation, having mediation, getting to know one another and what we're doing. So I guess there are different ways. So second stage is already when you can you already have chosen where can you buy in this world a place that is very cheap and you can just invest little by little, little by little, because people have to learn that it comes from your effort and you are working to get this. It's not just credit from the bank, is your property. People have to have a sense of property, and that gives you that responsibility to check on it, to control, to handle with one another what we're doing. So um, and this is for the rich, the middle class, and the poor in first world countries, evolved countries. You simply feel the universe around you, that who never changes. Take a breath and feel the joy of the first stage to have reached the consistency of gathering so much experience and getting ready to continue now, adding traveling around the world. Well, her husband was going to have a degree as a pilot, so she was going to be able to travel with him. And of course, uh, I was thinking to make a good deal and support her economically as well for this. You like to keep it as spontaneous in your creation as much as possible, as a god of its own world. For this level, you will reach a list of countries and villages you would like to visit and explore their territories. Write down the connections. How much is a piece of land or little old house in an abandoned place or a evolved country, or simply add a visit to honor a tribe. But those are things you will show all of us along the journey. You will show the world that you love to learn from this culture, what you need from them, the vibration, and if you would like to come back to make it a part of your spot. As for a friend to do it for you. So you visit your friend or family, simply sharing out without truly knowing. Because one has to be ready for all the problems that one doesn't know that are going to come in countries where the unexpected is guaranteed. You can keep the same style and choose one country a month, or make some countries in one vacation and edit later on for the next months or weeks. Those are things you will let for the right time. Movie makers are already talking about a movie for 6 years, sometimes while they are making one. So it is fine to talk in the breaks and gaps about random things that might form a file of information for the future. This second stage can take 1 year or start every 6 months. Those are rhythms you make, but it's really nice you pick the camera and go. but with a design. I mean, as a creator, you have to have an aesthetic that that is your that is your to hook people. That is your thing, so they can easily catch is that style. Because you want to make a fashion, you want to make a tendency, you want to make a impulse towards something that it can be your gig. So I have named some styles of hers. If half of the world is women and you are giving a mirror for them to make a better world, be in connection with other women and anyone who respects the feminine qualities. Uh, she doesn't like when I say if you would like to look like a goddess like, but she does have that style. And sometimes she makes crowns of flowers and dresses like a Greek goddess. And looks very innocent, like because that's the meaning of her name, Devi, from the Sanskrit, which means goddess. Devi, from the divine, the divinity. So architectures from NASA, architectures from Bill Gates, who had formed sustainability towns in Africa, architectures from Dubai, talk about the changes, the weather, what are all these things. The one on any stage you can meet anyone you want or meet others home and talk about how they feel inside their home. Be honest. Who knows what do they think about how other people live in this world? The conditions, one. Number two, make a list of the many towns who need water. Wow. That needs an effort for all the world. That could, could help if we get together, if we get along. Number three, make a list of organizations to meet and bring donations. Oh, well, I guess the one has to know that when you are picking a village, a little bit to know the political backstage, if you are capable of helping. And there are organizations who do things for water. I mean, if one is studying, do the same you did. Should be easier for people, I guess. Stage three, do the same you did by filming and escorting those who are now doing their own, picking one place in the world to create your little mansion addition to a village. New concept of private and public. A couple who saves £3,000 in 2 years can get a land with a little house in a poor country to start adding a home community, volunteering, vacations, new form of traveling. Every year that this couple sends 200 pounds to another couple who is taking care of the house and building little by little an extension, a hall, a roof, a library, a swimming pool. Like in 1 year, you send 200 every month. Some countries have problems to receive money. So, like Venezuela, you get to see the progress through the multimedia of the person who visits the place each year or every 6 months. So it's good they also have multimedia energy. So it takes. I mean, if you have to pay internet £100 a month, dollars, it's cheaper. The average person working in a supermarket or any job with a couple, in a partner, can construct their mini mansion in a project of 10 years to 15 years and help a village at the same time, right? So this could be writing better. Of course, it has a system of its own. So maybe the cybernetic citadel that is doing this in, with the British Parliament and investors. So of course it's good to know if there is a church around. It's very complicated. All this. It's very complicated. So well, just to make it easy little by little. It's such a beautiful places with nature. Look at Belize. That is below Mexico. I think this is part of the Belize is part of the Commonwealth. That's why its economy is better. Yeah. Well, I wish everyone a happy Merry Christmas. In the air, prayer for a prayer of gratefulness, really. Um, just imagine that I'm disconnecting from politics and wars and dramas. I'm still addicted. So slowly, surely getting into once present moderation to uh, keep making the script roll with others. If I'm gonna get out or not, who knows? It'd be nice to have someone to walk with the park, with the green.